are you? Another day, another opportunity, right? Love my coffee cup. I was just thinking again, I should have gotten 2 of them just in case. I always plan for the just in case, even though we're not really supposed to, right? I mean, if you have faith, everything's going to be taken care of. But anywho, I'm thinking, well, maybe I could just look online to see if it's on clearance online. It was like $3. Obviously, it's for Easter, but so these are the cards that I pulled because I was doing the shuffling, preparing them for shuffling. Every day we're hustling. Can't find the little plastic part of the container, which is not a big deal. Just I always do that. I'm always losing something, right? Okay, so the beginning or the split of the shuffles is we have mustard seed here. Oh, I picked up this one with the raccoon. So either you or the person who's trying to thieve or be a thief, all you need is a little seed the size of a mustard seed, faith, to have faith. Wow, I can't even get my sentences straight. Discombobulated. And then we've got our sarcasm down here with the retort. What you say bounces off of me and sticks to you like a child. Just this very immature kind of thievery. It's like, didn't we learn in elementary school that if it's not yours, don't touch it? Right? It's like basic elementary rules. If it doesn't belong to you, don't touch it. It's not yours. But for some reason, someone thought it would be a good idea to take something that wasn't theirs and then go ahead and use sarcasm in order to deal with the situation. Maybe they're using sarcasm. Where's your faith? Faith of a mustard seed. I don't know, folks, but do you know how big a mustard seed is? It's smaller than a sesame seed. Doesn't take much. Just a little dab will do you. You don't need much. Just use it sparingly, right? Because that's all it takes. Even if you are being forced to be quiet. Regarding this betrayal that happened, maybe it happened in Hollywood or in Los Angeles County. Maybe someone is well known. Maybe someone has passed away, or they said someone passed away at their own hands. Following in the footsteps of something that was concealed. Or they could be following the trail of something that was concealed in some kind of record keeping, some kind of story, judgment. And that's been multiplied. That's been confounded. Compounded is the word I'm looking for. Someone took an oath. Someone swore that the siren had a song of attachment. Someone swore that they would be able to make this stick to this the siren swore that they could make this stick and put a lock on the funds that were in their pocket. whomever they took this from. But now they're dealing with a lot of tape. Now someone's being cautionary. Someone's tired of dealing with the red tape. Someone's tired of masking things off or wearing a mask. They're tired of holding it together. Or maybe they're just trying to hold it together. But they're leaving the group. They're heading off into the other direction because they don't want to be a part of it anymore. In regards to this day in and day out, the hamster wheel of betrayal over and over and over and over again. Maybe they can't stand to look at anybody in the face anymore. Maybe they're actually waking up and realizing the company they've been keeping, and they're deciding, you know what, this isn't for me. I know there's something that goes deeper. I know there's something with more substance. I know there's something that just won't lead me to the flat line. I'm trying to get away from the flat line of life. This person knows that they can't live here anymore because that will be their demise for eternity. The constant run, the constant running in the hamster wheel. Over what? They don't even get to enjoy what it was that they stole because they've got to run this hamster wheel. They're being taken care of, you know. Their bowls are empty. They're dealing with copycats. Who's making a mess of things. Making things much harder than anyone rational people would imagine it needed to be, but, you know, that's the path they chose. Every day is a constant swimming upstream, facing these red flags, being told you need to really stop. You're chasing after fake dreams. The plastic bottle. You really need to ship this somewhere else. These are the containers, the shipping containers. You gotta shift your mindset. On a large scale. It's going to take a lot more than just moving your location. It's going to take a complete overhaul. A special kind of effort. Because guess who's coming to collect, folks? It's the spirit that was around before there were even any spiritual rules. I was going to say, excuse me, I was going to say spiritual secrets. Because what's done in the dark always comes to light. And everything that's done has a consequence, right? And that consequence is coming to collect. You're living in your shadow. Your shadow needs attention. You need to bring light to your shadow. Everyone has one. Do you remember seeing, or maybe you've seen it recently, the kids that first discover their shadow and they start running from their shadow and they're so freaked out about their shadow? Why is this thing attached to me and why does it keep following me no matter where I go? And then there's some kids that are just standing there with great interest about the shadow. It doesn't bother them at all. Why do you think that is? Where's your faith? Maybe someone just needs to eat something. Maybe people are meeting at actually restaurants. We've got the clubs here. I think y'all heard the story, perhaps if you've seen it previous videos, about the one club. I wouldn't call it a club, it's more of an agency or an organization, but that's a kind of club here because obviously they were meeting outside of work. And a few of the individuals had jackets on from different branches of this organization. And they actually met at a restaurant. Apparently someone was retiring, which is fitting with this card for the golf course. Because perhaps you can go sit at the golf course after you retire. Who knows? But you can have your meetings on the golf course. You can have meetings during a meal at a restaurant. You can even stage a meal at a restaurant to make it appear a certain way, depending on what your goal is. This restaurant card, even though it's very generic, is in honor of a friend that I had when I was about high school age, who passed away. He was like a surrogate dad to me. And he owned a restaurant, or a chain of restaurants, rather. Rest in peace. Anywho, for some reason, these clubs, mind you, I picked up the word clubs after the restaurant. They're after this restaurant. These clubs came after this restaurant in the deck. So clearly they're after the restaurant for whatever reason. I have my 2 cents. I have my ideas. We've got the locomotive. You're on the right track. Coming in like a bullet train. Someone who's a bit unhinged. Perhaps it's this female copycat. Ding, 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 ding. If it looks like a bell, sounds like a bell, it's a bell. Could be someone's sister. Making a big deal of things. Maybe this person's trying to file something now. Trying to make something up. Trying to enunciate something. Or quite possibly they're trying to prepare themselves for the shaman itself. The shaman could be a Leo. Or it could be just someone who's got pride. They're proud of their family. They're proud of their pride. They're strong. They're courageous. They're a warrior as they're sleeping and they don't even know about it. They go to bed quite easily. And on the 5D and up world, that's where the things happen. Maybe you wake up exhausted. Maybe you wake up like you feel like you've worked a full day. I'm not a doctor or nutritionalist. Please do your research if that is you. Perhaps you are fighting warriors. I mean, you are fighting in your sleep, in the spiritual world, the spiritual realm. Or maybe you have the spirits or the angels or whatnot, the protectors, doing it for you. On the material world. It all is after the material world and this treasure that belongs there. It all keeps going back to that treasure. Meanwhile, you just sit there. With that treasure just out of reach. Looking for the new day, but be mindful. Don't allow it to change your mindset or drain you. Perhaps find some commonality in some kind of church setting or fellowship or club of people with like minds. I know I reached out to the church. I had to try twice, actually 3 times, to get a response as far as what would Jesus do? What's biblically appropriate? And then I let them know, you know what? Since I'm talking about the situation and I'm still crying about it, and it was 3 years ago, maybe I should look into having some kind of counseling so I can heal from the situation. Because I really didn't realize that I was still hurt by it. That was a week ago. They haven't called. They haven't emailed. And if they have, I just haven't seen it. So you find your own zen, your own balance, right? And you just balance out those feelings that you may have that just seem like they just come out of nowhere. Try different things. Maybe you're moving and looking for an apartment to see which one's going to work out for you. Do you get an apartment? Do you live with family? Do you go live with friends? Who knows? But you know that your nest is empty. You have an empty nest. Whether that's because all the kids have flown the coop, or if it's literally your bank account. You have no nest egg. So you stop. Just stop. Are you looking for a sign? I'm hearing no decision is a decision. You can't hide from what's going on. You can't hide from it. You see what's on the way. Never in a million years did you think this would be you, but the pigs are flying. They're flying today, folks. And this has to do with some kind of justice system and balance being made. And look, your egg. You've got your egg. I don't know why I did that. Oh, the golden egg. It's the golden egg. That's why. Another card about the new day. Another card about an opportunity. Another card about a nest egg. An egg to put in your nest. You've been trying to protect yourself from all of this. We've got the amaryllis family. We've got the onion, the garlic, the shallot, the leek, the green onion. Those are the amaryllis family, and those are used to heal and protect. They say if you put an onion next to your bed and you're not feeling well, it's supposed to clear the air of the um, things that are the infections. And garlic, of course, through the ages has been known to keep the vampires away, right? So all the while while you're trying to protect yourself and try to take care of yourself and whatnot, someone is toying with your security and where you live. I mean, that's just like a secondhand situation coming out of this whole situation with a beret. Maybe you're even toying with the idea of becoming a nomad and living on the land. Juggling with this idea that the family tree might be breaking down. The family tree is upset and sad themselves by some ancient, old, medieval way of doing things. But even with the medlar open arms, which is an actual fruit, that the older it gets and the more beat up and the more ripe brown it gets and the more that it looks like you might just throw this away, the better it is. That's when you take your bite. That's when you eat the fruit. This is a masculine action. It could be something that's been going on in August. I guess we'll find out once the snow settles. Some kind of souvenir, a memory will be taken about this. This calculated idea of not inviting someone to a certain meeting. It's the end of it. You didn't know? Did you even know it was going on? There was a reason you weren't invited. Because they wanted you to be displaced, pushed out, told you had to leave the exact environment and the exact place that maybe you grew up because, you know, there was money to be made here. So we'll just push you out of the equation so we can take over your neighborhood, we could take over your home. We have other plans for it. What, you're not a fan? Not a fan of the idea? This is something they've been circulating. Maybe they're circulating the fact that you pushed yourself out of the house. Like you became displaced because of what you did, because of the games you played. Maybe they were saying that you were spending too much time playing games, focusing on the games, or maybe you were doing psychedelics, or maybe you just like to sleep around. Papa was a Rolling Stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. Something plain just got out of control. Something was spreading like wildfire. You know, mushrooms, they populate pretty quickly. Sorry about the bark. From whatever it is that they thought they were going to swap out for themselves. Maybe it was this whole victim blaming thing. Maybe they wanted themselves to look like the victim. You know, Medusa was the victim in the whole situation, and someone thought that, you know, they'd go ahead and apply a curse onto her now because they were upset. So I'll take care of that. And now Medusa had to suffer the consequences of someone else's ignorance. I was only trying to help. Time to move. This is like displacement, nomad, pack, store, and move. It's time to move. It's time to pack up. Time to store your stuff and time to get on the road. You may not know where you're going. It's a bag of balls. It's the other card of bag of balls. I don't know why I keep leaving it in here. You don't know what game you're going to play. You don't know where you're going to land. You don't know who's going to even be there, if anybody. You may have to play this game on your own. You've got tooth. Someone's holding on the best they can. Perhaps they're dealing with the deep emotional trauma from this whole situation. Dennis says that if you have really deep roots, I think it was the dentist that said, don't quote me on that part, but I read somewhere or I heard somewhere that the deeper the root, the more emotional trauma someone has been holding on to that they haven't dealt with. In Chinese medicine, they also say that your teeth positioning, location are also attached to different organs in your body. So if you're having issues with a particular tooth, it could be affecting that same organ and vice versa. I don't know why I cannot speak this morning or this afternoon. And that brings me to the point of a woman named Louise Hayes, who also was saying that our emotions and our ailments are also connected. So if you have a backache, it's probably because you're carrying the weight of everything. I don't know if that's the right one that goes with that ailment, so please do your research. Her name is Louise Hayes. I'm pretty sure if you're carrying the weight of everything on your shoulders, you're probably having some kind of upper back pain or shoulder pain. If you're having an earache, it's supposed to be connected to something. If you have arthritis, it's supposed to equate to something. If you're having emphysema or something, it's supposed to connect to something. If you're having neurological pain or you're having some kind of like nerve pain, it's all supposed to be connected to something unresolved issue. Maybe that's important for someone. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionalist. I'm not a psychiatrist or a therapist. Do your research. Always do your research regardless of what you see, hear, or witness even. And always be mindful of the stories that you're reading online because the energies can be switched. Oftentimes the reader will pick an energy and apply it to a story when in actuality that story could have went with the other energy, you just don't know. And since I'm saying that, if there are energies in the reading, those energies can change at any time. Whatever story is being told is based on the timing and the energy of what it is in the current stance. It's kind of like when you're going home and you're thinking, I should go ahead and cook that pizza that's in the freezer when I get home. Well, that's the story that's being told by the reader. But then in actuality, on your way home, you stop and you see, maybe you're seeing a Taco Bell and you're thinking, wow, I'm really craving those chips and cheese. So you end up stopping at Taco Bell and having chips and cheese instead. In that moment of energy, you made a different decision based on other than what you were planning on doing. And then, of course, the course of the whole read has changed. I know a couple people that live life like that. It's like they live life in the way that they think the energy is going versus what the energy actually is. And there's trouble for that. Oftentimes they end up making the scenario fit to whatever it was they were thinking the energy was going to be based on the actions that they took in the moment, when in actuality it wouldn't have even been like that had you just let it play out. Just saying. We've got something coming to the surface here. Something was buried. Maybe someone buried something, watered it. Maybe they just buried it and forgot about it. We've got the swan here in regards to a love situation, perhaps. Someone was paid to distract or entertain someone. And they could have been paying this person for at least a good 13 years. 13 is connected to the female energy. Interestingly enough, it's also seen as such a bad number, right? Don't go to the 13th floor. That's bad news. I think it's interesting that they've connected that to the female energy, to the divine female. It also adds up to the number 4, which is a number of support. Could have something to do with it's not the first rodeo, or it could be someone who actually likes the rodeo or was a cowboy or trying to entrap or capture somebody. Again, with the clown and the gesture here. Trying to distract. But something is just coming out of the woodwork. Something's going to make itself appear all of a sudden. Maybe it's going to appear like, oh, is this some kind of joke? Are you kidding me right now? Really? Oh yeah, it was just a joke. We were all just playing a game. It was just a big production. Maybe somebody's friend's going to come and say that. Someone's going to, tell you, oh, we were guiding you this whole time. We were blocking certain things off. We didn't expect to take the turn that, that it took. We were thinking we were going to have all kind of control in this. Someone's sidekick. Could be someone named Robin. Could be someone named Robert. Bob. Maybe it was someone who was jealous they weren't the main person. So they took things into their own hands. And it all kind of came back to them. They're in some deep doo-doo. With the deep waves. Just saying, it's like you have to do this persistently, day in and day out. And the emotions that they're feeling, it's just like, wow, they're haunted by it. That's why I said doo-doo. Because now they're haunted about how persistent they were. Maybe someone was really stubborn. I don't want to. No, I don't want to. Come on. Come on. There you go. But persistence, I tell you. They had to tend to this every single day, many times a day, and now they're haunted by it. How much time and energy they put into this. And now they're just plain not wanting to do it anymore. I'm just done. I don't want to do it. I don't want to. Perhaps they're not getting credit where credit is due. It's go time. We had stop before and now we've got go. This is a waste of resources. Could have something to do with a hummingbird. Someone might be backtracking. Maybe someone's not taking care of things and it's making them sick. We did see the boomerang. These hummingbird feeders, you got to keep those little the little places where they put their little beaks into. You got to keep those clean, otherwise it makes them sick. And I know it's not your intention, so that's why I'm sharing it with you. Some people don't know. That takes a lot of maintenance also. Something's being identified. Maybe whoever they've been doing this to is a flower crown type of person. This person is just like, skip to my loo. I'm just going to go ahead and take each little step, step by step. Little baby steps, little, do things by the book. One step after another. For this person who is just a flower crown wearer, a peacekeeper, they live in freedom wherever they are, wherever they go, they're okay. They've just got that kind of attitude. Maybe someone's learned the lesson here. Maybe this whole cycle has ended. Or maybe they wanted to end this whole cycle for this person with the flower crown. They were trying to dig up some dirt on the person. Whoops, pay attention. Was trying to come out. Someone was trying to dig up some dirt with the tractor. Could have something to do with the Midwest. Maybe there's a farm involved. Someone is side-eyeing someone. Here's the number 4 coming out again. An earth angel. Could have something to do with September 4th or 1994. Angel protection. A sturdy foundation. Maybe a sturdy foundation was meant to be for this person that they were taking it for. Someone that they look at like they're just an alien and not from here. And they're just side-eyeing this person, waiting. They're patiently waiting. All the while, these thieves are committing road rage. And it's quite obvious. Whoopsie. They're calling attention to the fact that this person is a sweetheart. Even though they've been doing voodoo on this person continues to take care of their own side of the grass. They keep having these boundaries. They keep following the rules. They can't get this person to not take care of themselves or what they need to take care of, and they're getting pissed about it, dude. Sturdy foundation again. That number 4 has come up 4 times. Spiritual protection. It's also the last card of the Tarot Major Arcana. All the while, this person just continues. This is the Pixie card. The Pixie haircut. Fun and flirty. Stays in a place of respect and self-respect and royalty. If the card was made, it would be a little crown, wearing a crown. Having dignity. Continues to shine, even under a rock, even when things are hard, even when you stumble on your path, you keep the respect. The male crown, the king, equals the queen or being crowned. We've got the witch hat underneath. It's being called out by the one that's been watching it all go down. Down and through the black hole it goes. The witch is going to the black hole. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I appreciate you being here. If you made it down to the read this long, I cannot read the comments during the read because of the way it's set up. I'm hoping one day I can, but of course the one day that I had it set up, I was distracted by the people who were writing stuff. I probably should make a moderator, but I never know who's going to be here or not, right? Whoopsie. So sorry. Hello. Like one Nandini will love me or not. I'm sorry, I can't read the comments. And I'm not a fortune teller. You have to, I just tell stories through my cards. And in the meantime, though, I can give you some motherly advice. If you have to ask, then you already have your answer. You have to continue just to be you and do your work of what needs to be done and handle your business, and whatever will be, will be. But in the meantime, don't worry yourself and don't waste your energy asking questions like that. You need to put your energy towards the work and things that matter right now. And for the person who's talking about the future husband having to do work or a job or a business, again, there's no point in worrying about things right now. There's like this interview question that people always ask. It's like, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Well, you can see yourself in a particular place or position or doing a particular thing. And you can speak about it, but you know what? Sometimes life just has other opportunities in store for you. And it's like that question, yes, your mindset could be there, but in all actuality of things, 5 years from now can look totally different than what you expect it to be. And it's not right or wrong. It just is. As far as what's coming towards somebody, I would say that, I guess what's coming towards you would be what you're working towards, is all I can say on that one. Again, I'm not psychic. I just read the cards and I share with what my heart is saying. I could definitely be wrong, but you have to follow your own discernment and check in with the Most High of where and what and how. With that being said, thank you so much for being here. Take care and make it a great day.